Hello everybody, I'm back again. The Fraps it decided it wanted to, crash whenever I clicked this, download mods. It's because I'm recording in the game and it's not working all that too good. And I'm afraid it would probably do the same thing if I pressed achievements. So I'm going to go on ahead to options, and then we're going to talk a little bit about that. Multiplayer nickname, that's your nickname that you'll have in multiplayer, like mine is Diablo 92. Multiplayer language, English, hardware, profile, auto, all that stuff. It's how you want it in throughout the game. Here we got the volume, which for beginners, for people that's finally or first beginning starting to get the game, it's probably too high maybe. I'm just gonna go ahead and click save and see what the big difference is. Well, it'll actually probably be a bad idea because it'll probably crash again. Here's automatic help, and what this does is whenever you're in a new map, or any kind of map actually, you will see a blue little question mark with a round thing or whatever. And if you walk into it, it'll show you a description of what all is to do, what you're supposed to do. Display new GUI. I'm not totally sure on that. We'll try that. Steering wheel, gamepad, that's if you have a actual steering wheel. All this stuff up here, that's all your... Then we got controls. Going to mods. These are all the mods that you have installed, that I have currently installed in this video. Now there is a limit to how many mods you can have. I've actually downloaded quite a few and installed them, and then noticed that one of my genuine products in the game stopped working. It wouldn't work right. So I tried to ignore it, and then it just passed up through it. It didn't work right. So then I uninstalled them all, thinking that it was the mod, which indeed it was. So then it started working again. So keep that very well in mind. And also remember that mainly all the mods are in your they're under your computer name, and then my documents, and then my games, and then Farming Simulator 2013. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and back out of this. Oh, and by the way, if you want to delete this, it'll delete that whole zip folder in your mod. So make sure you back all this stuff up. Make sure you back everything up in case you would happen to delete it and then wouldn't happen to bring it back. Okay, we're gonna step out of this too. Credits, that's okay. Notification, Blender, Unit Track, DLC. That's DLC, legit, copies of DLCs. Through the Steam, I would presume. Or probably take you even better yet to their website, the Giants website. Okay, we're gonna probably start a new game, starting right about now. As soon as I figure out which one we want to do, which one we want to start with first. I got a lot of equipment in this one, and you'll notice that it shows the map name to remind you of which maps. It'll show all the progress, like Westbridge Hills, the map name, money, the time played in it, in-game time, difficulty, save date, the last save date going to go ahead and jump into that. It's a really nice map. There is a lot of big fields in it, and it is very challenging. It is very extremely challenging, especially if you're by yourself. If you are by yourself, you will feel the need of wanting help very badly. But I've overcome it a lot of times before. I mean, I run 2 combines right now with 2 semi-trucks that carry 2 trailers on the back. And then, of course, I hire the 2 cultivators right behind that go behind the combines. So, yeah, it's pretty challenging to keep everything, juggling. It's a very nice game, though. It's it's a very, very powerful simulator I've ever noticed. It's the very first one I've ever came across. Okay, here we have the West Bridge Hills map, and it is pretty well loaded up. It's a little laggy still. Okay. I'm gonna go through and do the basics. Gonna start by walking. If you've ever played Far Cry 2, which my friend Jared has, I know it, he has. It's just like Far Cry 2, like walking. You use the key WASD, WAS, then D. And then you can also jump. Like, yeah, not very much of a good jump though. Anyway, here's the flashlight. You can use a flashlight in the game, to see a little bit more better, and it helps. Especially even in those little bushes. It's hard to see. See? You can't see crap. I mean, you can't see nothing. Now you can. There is bigger bushes in this game too, and if, say, like, you would happen to get a hay bale stuck in it, you're gonna be in trouble. Let's start with probably this. As you can see up in the left-hand corner, it says key E. You gotta press the key E to enter. So I enter. Now I'm zooming in and out. About here is where you can, this is the max. This is all the further you can scroll out to. Now I'm going to go ahead and disconnect this because I'm going to take a look at that later on. We're going to start on the smaller stuff first. Here's how you can control the vehicle. That's one click. That's one hit of the F key on the keyboard to turn on the headlights. That turns on the rear for the second. That turns it right back off. You can also do this. That turns on that key, the home key on your keyboard turns on the warning, the caution lights. You can also have them on all at once, whatever you prefer. I mean, it's not really important, not hugely important, not that I have noticed. Okay, now we're gonna take a look at these other vehicles. I know that these aren't really actually vehicles, but they're equipment more like. So I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect that so it doesn't confuse anyone. It's fully disconnected. It's pretty simple. I mean, just like you're walking. That tractor I was just in, that's just like you're walking too. It's pretty simple. Like if you've ever played Far Cry 2, like I said, it's the same setup. You turn on the flashlight. Of course, there is no flashlight in Far Cry 2, but you get the point. It's pretty well easy. It's just one. That's it. And then I back it on up. Then to reconnect that, since this is pretty well just fairly easy, you reconnect it. Just Q button. Just use the Q button. Now, another thing I should mention before I go on to any more further, you got to get near. You see, you got to get close to where, at least close to these your doors. The you know, the driver door, the passenger door, something like that. You could also set the cab using the C key on your keyboard. You can look all the way around. I don't know if you can do the same stuff as you can in modded type vehicles. These ones. That turns off and on. That would be the 6th num key right there working. I just wanted to show that. You know, they're pretty well just about the same. Here we have a harvester, a combine, in other words. Let's go ahead and hop into that one. Now I'm gonna disconnect the cutter board to make less confusion for anyone. Here's how you close it. This is how you fold it. Closing, folding, whatever way you want to call it. This way you cannot use it. You cannot use it at all like this. You have to have it open. And what I'm doing there is I'm hitting the X key. That'd be the X key on your keyboard. That's all I'm doing right there. Now I'm pulling forward, and then, well, I probably should show you. Okay. This is opening out the pipe out to the driver, well, the person that pulls up beside you, and then for them to pour it in. Well, I mean, you know, if you would have to pull up against the hired worker in the harvester. To do that is by hitting the O key. The O key on your keyboard. O as in the letter O. Here's all the lights. That's 1 click, 2 click, 3 click, which is high beams up front. And then another one that turns it all off. That turns on just the bottom lights, the back lights. Okay. Now, as for the disable chopper, you're probably wondering, that does with this. See that right there moving? This is where you can enable making straw or disabling it. Whenever you're harvesting, it'll put it in a line, and then for you to pick it up, you can, well, I'll probably explain more on that later. Better probably hop back in that and show you the cutter. Oh, and one more thing on that there harvester. As for the press mouse buttons for additional controls up in the left-hand box, this is what that does. That's all it's doing. That's all it can do. It can't do no more. but it's not really useful. It's not really, I mean, it is useful. It's not really important. Let's go on to the cutting board. This is the cutting board. I can higher it, which, you know, make it a little easier to drive, or I can lower it whenever I'm harvesting. The reason why I have it up normally would be because whenever I'm going fast, you see all these little cliffs and all that stuff, it would scooch along that, and then it would make it go along the, you know, it would go along the ground, go along the, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to go ahead and put this back down. I'm going to let I hire this. This doesn't really do very much help either. It's not very useful. But, you know, moving your mouse left to right, this is moving it out. This is moving it left. This is moving it right, which is moving it inward toward you. I'm going to go ahead and move it back out. But the reason for that, I think, is where whenever you open up this, and then you would see this right here. This right here has to be the field's color. If this color would have to be in these fields, you would have to do that on this. You'd have to raise the thing. It says, ready to harvest, in parentheses, remove tops. Only tops, I would assume. Now, I should also mention changing the tool. The little car icon or whatever you want to call it, tractor, with a little box in front of it down in the right-hand corner above the speed, the liters and gas and all that money. Above that, you can see it. You can see that I'm changing the tools right now. I'm changing them in between them. I'm using the G key. That would be the G key on your keyboard. Now let's move on to something else. Here's another tractor, a Yours' tractor. Pretty well fairly about the same. Same as that very first one. Let's, I don't know. I want to show you mowing and then picking up the hay bales. But the hay bale is, well, no, that's the straw. So we're probably good to go on that. And by the way, here's how this all works. This is briefing. This is, you know, some tips here and there. This is settings. This is whenever you're in multiplayer, only the host can change all this stuff. Time scale, real time, 5 times speed, 15 times, 30 times, 60 times, and then 120 times. 120 times is very fast, and it's very useful when you're wanting to harvest very rapidly and quick as you can. Here's the mission frequency. You can change that to obtaining a mission every 20 minutes, every 10 minutes, every 5 minutes, or every 2 minutes. Depending on how many jobs you want pulled, however long in between. Here's plant growth, which is currently at slow, which is should be normal. That's normal. Slow is just very, very slow. Fast is very fast. Show all help icons in the game. That's the question marks that I mentioned a little earlier about getting help. You know, you would come up to a question mark you would happen to see in the game on the map. Show icons on PDA map. That would be the icons on your the index little thing, your little iPod. Better probably set that back down so it doesn't speed up time and then ruin my crops. Vehicle selection. You can go to your vehicle by just going to it, scrolling to it, and then clicking it. See there? That's all I'm doing, is just clicking. Clicking to go to it, that's it. Very simple stuff. You could also tab between the two, between them all, or faster way of doing that. These here red icons, those are your tools, as you can see in the little picture over here. See, there is a windrower, there is a baler, there is a tedder, and a bale picker-upper. There's a trailer. The harvesters, that's blue. It's blue colored. It's blue colored because it's a combine, and you could also hop in straight into those. See there? So green and then blue. Tractors, harvesters, tools / trailers. Display tractors, not display them, not display harvesters, you know. Reset next selected vehicle / tool. You got to select this first, and then you press, you know, this or this, and then whenever you do that, this unselects automatically. So whenever you click your next vehicle, it doesn't reset. It wants to be sure that you're sure of it. Here is the map views of all your fields. The blue ones, this one, well, the reason why this one, and then this one down here are green is because they're grass fields. I wanted them to be grass because that's for my hay. That is for the silage. That is for the supply for my cattle. Now, these blue ones are all mine, of course, which I got something growing in them. They're in the very first stage of growing. Then there's the second stage, and then there's the third, and then the fourth, and then it starts on the green slowly, then to green, dark green, and then this ready to harvest, in parentheses, remove tops. Then after that stage, it's withered. Withered is not good. Withered means it's completely destroyed. It's useless. You cannot harvest anymore. That's pretty much about all of it. You can see my windmill right there. And I should probably show you how to do the corn. And if you do hit something, I'm going to mean to hit something here in just a second. Sometimes it'll go in and out. And then sometimes it'll fling you. So, and don't be scared of that. It doesn't do any damage. unattach the other thing, drop it wherever you want to, then you get this thing, drive over to it, and grab it. And if I didn't already tell you how to lower and higher your cutting board, use V. Would be your V key. Now how to turn it on, that would also be for the other tool that I had on earlier. You press V, and then it just turns right on. And then it goes right back up because I had it selected, to be high. There's pretty much nothing different about it. I'm gonna go ahead and drive back over here and show you all about something about this here cutting board. It's a particular one. Okay, now I got it attached. Now I'm gonna unfold the cutting board. That means the wheels pop out, and then bingo. Okay, now I'll detach it, and then I back away from it. Then I hop into basically any kind of tractor, mainly these ones, because you need a powerful but also heavy, front-weighted type of tractor. You don't have a right type of tractor for that, for the thing that you want to do, like say cultivating. The tractor will roll back. It'll fall back, start falling back. Mainly what this here is for mobile. Fit in like tight spots or mobile, moving mobily. You can see how long it is. It'll definitely not fit into some places that you would probably think that it would, that it wouldn't. So that's what this is for. You pretty much can't do nothing with it whenever you're hauling it. You can't do it with the corn ones over there in the background because they don't have it. It's not as long. So, yeah. This is the same harvester I showed you already. Okay, here is a new vehicle that I haven't showed you yet. The controls, F key, lights, second hit, third hit, off, then change the tool, which is pretty much down to there. You can move the front arms, left to right, moving your mouse left to right, and then up and down your mouse left and right. And then to drop an item, to drop a bale, of course, you take your right mouse button and then hit, you move it over toward the right. Then to pick it back up, you take it, stick it like that. It has to be a certain kind of spot that you hit, because it won't hit if you do, say, let me show you. See there, it's not taking it. It's not taking it right where I want it to. See there? It's like concrete. It won't take it. It's like, no. So, I stab it right there in that spot, and then I roll my mouse over leftward while holding it down, and then pick up my mouse, or my bale, using my mouse, rolling it down with the left mouse button, holding it down, and then whenever I want to pick it up, move my mouse over toward the left while holding left mouse button. You can also, take this little tool off, just detach it. And then it does kind of a bit of a flippy thing there, but Um, that's not really important very much anymore now. Well, maybe it is, because I'll probably show you bailing. Oh, great, now it's going to do that thing. Oh, well. So, anyway. Wow, that's kind of weird. Here is a compactor. You can use it to compact the silage where that thing is rolling. That thing that I had on there a little bit ago. You can take it, move it back and forth. It's mainly for compacting. And yes, it is a lizard. It does this weird walking thing. You can basically walk. That's why I hate it so much. The controls for this is fairly easy too. You move down your bucket using your mouse, left mouse button only, and then dumping it. Of course, dumping right here you won't make any money off of, and you're not storing it anywhere unless you happen to go up to here to fill your bucket. There it goes. You just put your bucket right there and scoop it up. Make sure the bucket is facing upwards, and then pull on out. So, fairly easy. You can take that over toward the other plant, which will take care of that and then give you money. This is the mixing wagon. It requires only one bale of hay, one bale of straw, and then some silage. It has about 12, I can't remember exactly, 1,200 or 12,000 storage in it. That can store up to. You can see the little arrows up in the left hand corner under mixing ratio. It needs to be in between those little boxes. There'll be a little gray spot or whatever down in the right hand corner with a piece of grass or whatever down beside the tractor where it's displayed with the tools and all. It'll be gray or reddish color. Once it turns bright green or some other color, everything's green up in the left hand corner up in that box, and it's good to go. You can bring it over here, then dump it beside it, press the Q button, and then it'll dump. Here's all the headlights. Just 2 clicks on this one. To turn on the mixing wagon, whenever you go near the silage, okay? You don't really need this necessarily, but it could be useful, I guess. So here is the, hey, that thing flipping out. Anyway, here's what this does. You turn on the mixing wagon, and it brings in a bunch of silage. You can see that little, whatever that is in the right-hand corner. Silage right at this very moment, but whenever it's the right mixture, it'll be like a watered up piece of grass. Whenever it's the right mixture, it'll be a great, gray or green spot. Excuse me. How I'm turning this off and on is by pressing the B key. And as I said, this isn't really useful. You don't need this unless you want to move it up and down, unless you have to have a big bunch of silage or up off the ground. It could be useful. You also got this little thing. It can flap open and then flap close. I don't really use it though, but maybe someone else can find it useful. Pretty much none of these controls in these vehicles, legit ones of the game, they're not usable. Let's go to the next vehicle. Okay. Here's a vehicle that we haven't did. So I pull it on around, normal, using the walking keys, WASD. Okay, see a bunch of grass over there that you want to pluck. that you want to cut. You take your X key on your keyboard and then you start unfolding. It takes a while to unfold, of course, and yes, you can get a lot of stuff caught. That's why I'm doing it over here, because I'm in the free zone. No one will come over here and then drive in front of me and then get caught on this stuff. So I'm good to go right now. So I'm gonna go on ahead and go. I'm gonna go on ahead and knock it in to year 2, and then I'm gonna switch it in. I'm gonna switch this on to B, which is it switches it on. Notice how it's putting it all in a line. That's because I have it's capped off to just that amount. Now, if I have to open it up, enable wide spreading. There's wide spreading. It puts it everywhere. It goes wherever it wants to go. Now I put it back in the same. It's on swap deposit now. So it'll go into straight line, making it a lot easier for you to pick up, sell, turn into silage, turn into negative, or whatever. Okay, that's what lift does. Much just that. Making it a little bit more easier to go down the streets and not get caught on lights. Another thing I should mention, I just remember about the vehicles. Let me just stop here for a moment. You can do auto controls, and yes, it is useful when you're supposed to use it. Because look at this. On a lot of this stuff, on a lot of these pieces of equipment, tools, you're supposed to go to a certain minimum speed. So what you do is you lock it into first gear. I press one key, not the number one key, but the normal one key. I turn it on. Okay. This is a little slow, so I'm going to go in gear 2. Knock it up to gear 2. Okay, we're pretty good right now. Pretty good speed. Okay, we're going to go up to third gear. That knocks it up to third gear. Okay, there's the message. Do not drive gear 2. And control level 2 only. Well, cruise control level 2. That was pretty well the B key, turning off and on the mower, and then enabling wide spreading, that's the VVO key, then unfold mower, that's X. And do remember, it does take a little while to get it spread it out. So that's it for that vehicle, pretty much. This is kind of a bit of a new one. It's about the same thing as that one I had earlier, where I had the hay bale or straw bale, whichever. Okay, I'm lifting it up. I'm using my mouse key. Pretty much just moving it up and down using my left mouse key, mouse button. Now I'm moving it left or right, now left to do that little thing, move it. You can also extend it up and down with using your right mouse button now. And yes, you can, take off this gadget and then put another one on. But I prefer to keep it like this. I pretty much use this one for just that sheep. I pretty much just use it to pick up the sheep, the packages of, whatever it is, wool, I guess. Okay, that seems to be about about it for this tutorial. So I'll keep making, you know, additional tutorials for everyone to see, including especially my friend. One thing I want to mention, this is an automated weighted system tractor. Its weights is already distributed or already installed onto the tractor. They cannot be taken off. Now there are some tractors where they do need the weights. You can't put anything on the front, but you can put stuff on the back, pretty much, and only the back. This one you can stick stuff only on the back. This was a harvester, so of course you can stick stuff on the front and back. This one only the back. This one only the back. This one back and front. So I'll show you real quick. It's just the weight system. It's to help weigh it down, to keep it flat on the ground, to not have as much frustration with it as you would, you know, trying to pull up a hill with a heavy excavator, say a heavy excavator, or I mean, a heavy whatever you're pulling, cultivator, plow, or whatever. There's a weight system. See how it makes my tractor lean forward? They do help. This is the heaviest weight in the legit version of the game, just the game alone, none of the mods. So mods have, I think they're a little bit more heavier. Don't think that you can hook it to that way up there. I'm not really going to try, so yeah, let me show you some others. This one you can hook stuff on the back, or the front and back, I mean, on that one that I just had. This one, only the back. This one, only the back. This one, you can do stuff on the front as well. Have any weights right now, but as you can see, it's got the things at the front, the arms or whatever you want to call them, the front, and then the back, which I normally use weights at the front because, you know, it's up the tractor, and then, you know, whatever I'm using at the back, which is a cultivator, plow, or the sowing and fertilizing machine. So, I guess that's about it for this tutorial.